Let's hope the next one is shorter, because I want to go to bed soon. But yes, we have Disco Inferno. Okay, that sounds awesome. Disco Inferno. Listen, that's when I hit the dance floor and light my afro on fire. That's what happens. The third keter. Due to the inherently immobile nature of SCP-1969, it is located at the recovery site now named Site-1969. Nice. The primary containment. I'm not gonna do that joke every single time with the 69 numbers. I'm getting tired of my own joke. The primary containment unit is a hollow steel ball, 1 centimeter in thickness, containing multiple low-powered electric pistons. These pistons are controlled by a computer located 1.2 meters away on the floor of the secondary containment unit, allowing them to fluctuate in a controlled manner in order to keep SCP-1969 perpetually in the lambda state. The steel ball has a diameter of 56 centimeters and is attached to the roof of the secondary containment unit. Is that steel ball basically the disco ball? Is that what I'm getting? Outside the primary containment unit is a concrete room known as the secondary containment unit. Dimensions are 15 times 15 times 3.5 meters. 50 small transmitters are attached to the walls, relaying a constant message to either 1 or 4 off-site receivers or 2 of 8 on-site receivers. In the event that more than 2 of these transmitters stop working, MTF Alpha 9 party poopers will secure the tertiary containment unit and administer amnestics and tranquilizers to locals if necessary. If it becomes apparent that the growth of the Zaya zone can only be halted by the termination of a large number of civilians, MTF Alpha 9 is authorized to do so, using mimetic agents and chemicals such as desflorants. The tertiary containment is largely a mimicry of the transmitter's receiver. Gotta double check. Because I heard both.
Mimicry.
Okay, good. Of the transmitter's receiver setup in the secondary containment unit. This unit contains 1,500 transmitters and 8 receivers scattered over 20 square miles, spanning the entirety of Site 1969. It serves as a secondary method of monitoring the Zaya zone when SCP-1969 is in an alpha state. Along the edge of Site 1969 are 20 outposts for guards, 3 guards per outpost. One final outpost contains the research and administrative staff of Site 1969, housing 35 people at the time of writing. 2010. Ground and aerial transportation is available for each outpost to provide immediate evacuation in the event of SCP-1969 entering a continued alpha state. If SCP-1969 remains in an alpha state for longer than 40 seconds, site personnel are to alert Site Director Nelson or Assistant Director Jackson. Description: SCP-1969 is a disco ball made by an unknown manufacturer. It is 50.8 centimeters, 20 inches in diameter, and has a hook attached to the top of the ball in order to hang it from the ceiling. There are separate surfaces on the ball, all small, approximately 5 millimeters squared in size and mirror-like in appearance. Despite the lack of power source, electromagnetic waves pulsate from each separate face of SCP-1969. However, the faces of SCP-1969 do not consistently radiate the same wavelength, and randomly change after anywhere between less than 0.0 seconds and close to 2 minutes. Each face acts separately, and as such, different wavelengths emanate from SCP-1969 at any given time. These waves have range through the entire electromagnetic spectrum, although wavelengths in or near the human visible spectrum are more likely to linger than extremely long or short wavelengths which shift quickly. Although being inside the Zaya zone will not lead to immediate death, the amount of radiation is extremely harmful and is inevitably lethal after an extended period of time. This lends to the classic image of a disco ball, with multicolored lights shining from a mirrored spinning ball. Okay. But it's radioactive! Light emanating from SCP-1969 shines through or penetrates materials normally opaque to it. For example, light from SCP-1969 with a wavelength of 580 nm. Yellow will be able to pass through material fully opaque to visible light. Gamma rays coming from SCP-1969 are similarly unaffected by radioactive shielding. So it just goes through it. If you have like a hazmat suit, for example, it just goes through the hazmat suit. Is that what you're trying to say? Despite this, all electromagnetic waves seem to reflect normally, while paradoxically seem to penetrate materials as well without lowering in intensity. However, the area in which this effect takes place is limited to an ellipsoidal space centered around SCP-1969, known as the Sayal Zone. This area spreads out horizontally much more quickly than vertically. SCP-1969 has 3 states of existence, hereafter referred to as Alpha, Beta, and Lambda. The Alpha state is highly dangerous. During the Alpha state, the Sayal Zone expands. Alpha states are triggered and continued by gross physical motion with the Sayal Zone. The rate of growth correlates directly to the cumulative joules of kinetic energy being applied to the Sayal Zone compound continuously at a rate of E. However, this movement does not need to be artificially caused, allowing natural causes to propel an alpha state in SCP-1969. During this time, SCP-1969 rotates clockwise with respect to the ceiling at varying speeds. The rate of growth of the Sayal Zone is now constant. Approximately seconds after the cumulative movement inside of the Sayal Zone reduces to %. The Sayal Zone sensitivity to kinetic energy readjusts to allow fewer joules applied to trigger an alpha state. After a certain point, it becomes possible for such small, uncontrollable movements as normal tectonic motion to put SCP-1969 in an alpha state. Mathematical measurements and speculations relating to alpha states are located in document Alpha 1. Fortunately, the sensitivity of the Sayal Zone during alpha states lowers, allowing it to enter beta state. Beta states occur following an alpha state. As its kinetic sensitivity decreases, the Sayal Zone slows its growth due to the relative lack of new movement. If the amount of movement within the Sayal Zone goes down enough, the zone will begin to shrink, inciting a beta state. During this state, SCP-1969 spins counterclockwise with respect to the ceiling at varying speeds. If enough joules were to be exerted inside the Sayal Zone, it could expand to cover all of Earth, a theoretical event referred to as an Inui scenario. Doctor speculates that if the Sayal Zone were to reach the town of Redacted, an Inui scenario would be inevitable, as no means available to the Foundation could halt its growth. An Inui scenario would affect all light entering the Earth's atmosphere, eventually kill 99% of all organic life forms from radiation poisoning, and cause a multitude of other problems. Ooh. Okay, the Sayal Zone shrinks considerably while in a beta state before returning to an alpha or a lambda state. The lambda state constitutes constant fluctuation between alpha and beta states, with the effect that the Sayal Zone size never changes significantly. And then the following node was discovered near SCP-1969. During recovery, most of the upper right portion was burned off during Incident A, prior to collecting by Foundation assets. Document appears to be a receipt. Part of the Marshall Collins Dark logo, I had a feeling, is drawn lightly on the background of the node. Boo, data lost. Amount of data lost. Location of auction, this data lost. Note, due to this item not having been tested by a Marshall Collins Dark, starting bid, data lost. Description of item, disco ball, measuring 20 inches in diameter, actively hunts for parties to service. When partying ends, stops. Does not require a power source. Runs indefinitely. Yeah, runs indefinitely and kills indefinitely. That's for sure. God damn. Martian God and Dog were like, let's create something for parties. But let's just kill everybody at the party while we're at it. Destroy them. Let the light shine low. And the life expectancy become low as well. God damn, Marshall Collins Dog. Of course you came up with this. Of course you did.